Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I had somebody bring it to my attention that I generalize a lot, and I think they were accurate. I do. I personally, I'm a black and white kind of guy. I'm not a gray. And it's funny because generalize is gray. It's all gray. That's what generalize is. And so what I do is I generalize whatever it is. Let's see. Oh, one of the things I talk about is government officials, and that includes elected officials. It includes the bureaucrats, police. Not so much military. Military is a thing. It's a thing completely by itself. But those kind of things, I do generalize, and in general, they're bad. They really are. Now, but if you listen to my videos and see what I do, I get people to be personal. If I can get you on a one-on-one kind of thing, we can get things done. I don't care what the problem is. And I know some people, especially Americans, they look at when I start talking about a one-on-one, and then I bribe somebody, and then, oh, that sounds bad, that's and all that kind of stuff. That's the thing is, in the United States, we are taught bribing is bad. We're not even taught how to negotiate, and negotiating is bribing. We're working out a deal, and in business, everything is negotiating. Like I say, I had restaurants. My restaurants, you would say, well, no, you got the menu, this is the price, there's no negotiating about it. There's a lot of negotiating. The thing is, there's a lot of restaurants. Why would you want to come back to my restaurant? I've got to negotiate some way or another with you to get you to come back to mine and not to a competitor. So there is negotiating. Now, how is it done? It is done by getting you on a personal level. You come in to eat. Now, I'll tell you, it's not me. I'm not, don't think I'm the one. I wish I could. My wife was the one. She remembered everybody that comes into the restaurant. She would talk to them. She would find out, where they're from, what kind of work they do, talk about their family and stuff like that. Now, she can't get it all done. Each time you come in, she'll say one more little thing. Well, how's the kids? How are they doing in college? She remembered that stuff. She knew the people. She made the connection, the personal connection. And then she negotiated enough where they would come back. That is a form of negotiating. Now, this is what I'm talking about. If the people in government, the government officials, bureaucrats, and see all these elected officials, they're always holding the baby. They're trying to make the personal connection. And then once they get in office, they'll piss on you. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You're being used and abused. And then the bureaucrats, the people that are working, they're really working for us. But in their minds, they're on the government. They're all on the government. And the government is an identity. There's no official personal connection there. They're just, and any I would say any honest bureaucrat will tell you their work sucks. Not only, well, the worst thing is they're working with the public, and public work is very hard, and so that's the first thing. So they really don't enjoy their work, and it's the pensions and the money and the power. Some of them have a power in which they couldn't get a job. If you're working, let's say you're working for the government, and you look at your supervisor. Your supervisor would not have a job if that supervisor was working in the private sector. And the reason is the supervisor more than likely doesn't have the skills needed in the private sector. When you are in government work, that's another reason why they say government work. It's government work is different than any other kind of work, because all they have to do is certain things to keep their job. And even if they don't do those things, they don't lose their job. They're moved to a different department. Wow, man. I'm going on something that I wasn't even planning on talking about. But while we're talking about government stuff, let me tell you how I deal with the government. Okay. Right. Now, in the States, it's the hardest. And the reason is, in the States, well, they're not the hardest, but they're pretty hard. And the reason is, let me go to the extreme. The worst extreme government officials I've ever had to deal with, and I didn't do a good job. I wasn't able to work with them at all. I had to resort to some of the other stuff that I talk about. All government employees, they're all concerned about money. They're getting paid. They all are concerned about job security. They're all concerned about promotions. They need a promotion. They're all motivated on what they can do to get a promotion. And because once they get in the system, like I say, they can't get out. So what they got to do is try to find a way to move up on their pay scale, however they got that figured. The worst extreme government officials I had to work with was in Cuba, and they are communist. And one thing I learned about communists, first, communism, it's a collective. Everything is a collective, and the reason it's a collective is because none of them have the balls to take personal responsibility. And so if they're not going to take personal responsibility, in Cuba, every government official will tell you no. I don't care what it is that you want to do. You want to take some pictures over here, you want to go over there, you want to do this, you want to do that. They're all going to tell you no. You have to get official permission. And trying to get official permission, you're not going to get it. It's very, very hard. And the people that for one thing, you're not going to be able to find the person to give you that official permission. You're going to say, can I take the picture over here? And they're going to say no. And they say, well, who can I talk to? And then they won't lead you to anybody. Or they'll lead you to somebody who don't have a damn thing to do with picture taking. They don't have the authority to give you the okay. That's the way they do things. Nobody wants to take personal responsibility. They avoid it at all measures. They say that's the worst I've ever experienced. I mean, it was bad. I ended up having to do some very stuff that I had to do things that you're going to have to. You'll find out after I die. I'll put it that way. And what I did wasn't illegal, but I don't know if it was illegal or not. But it doesn't make any difference because, like I say, you have to resort to some things to get certain things done. And so in other words, communists, it's hard to get anything done through the communism. That's why China's going through their thing. because they're having to change. If they want to get anything done, they can't do things the old communist way. They've got to change their ways. Even though they don't want to call it capitalism, they have to do something to negotiate. That's what capitalism is some type of negotiating. Okay, now talking about dealing with the American government or government officials, bureaucrats and stuff like that. They are getting more and more, well, they are socialist. That's the first thing. So we're not a republic like we used to be. It's not. I mean, it's a socialist. Everybody's expecting to be taken care of. They're going towards the communist way. Like I say, the communist, everything is taken care of. The United States is getting more and more that way. And when you get like that, then you get to the point where your job security, your income, and all this stuff is more important than the service that you provide to others. You are more important than others. You know, that's the communist way, and that's the socialist way, and that's what's going on in the United States. This is another thing I have problems with. I try to talk to people. I serve others. That's how I'm able to do well every place I go. That's why I don't need as much money as other people. I serve others. And people, they're having a hard time understanding what that means, because and it's not like I serve like we're a service nation, you know. I mean, we can't produce anything. We just sit around and scratch each other's back and make money. I'm not talking like that. I serve others in the way I help others improve their lives. I don't do it. I help them learn how to do it for themselves. And but when it comes to dealing with the American bureaucrats and politicians, stuff like that, they try to put a barrier to keep you away from them, you know, at the personal level. And the same thing, you see bureaucrats, their friends are other bureaucrats. You know, I mean, they don't associate. They are a different social level than the rest of them. So it's very, very difficult. And but I say, because of the skills that I have, I can, when I'm not talking about skills I have, I'm talking about the Hoi Chi, taking away pain, and I'm talking about the personal safety. These are the things that make it so they open up to me. If there's somebody that has the aches and pains, and if it's somebody that realizes that they need help in their personal safety, then they'll open up to me, and then I can get them on a personal one-on-one type situation. But it's still not that easy at all. And I say, trying to get a permit, you need a permit for this, a permit for that. And see, in the communists, everything is permit. That's why nobody has nothing. That's why you see Cuba, they don't have improvements. There's no improvements, there's no nothing. Everything's got to be okayed by the state, by the government. And it's just that screwy. So it's not that easy dealing with government officials. Now I'm going to have to make another video talk about what I really wanted to talk about, and that was generalizing. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on the difficulties that we are facing, and just give you something to think about. I'm sorry I don't have all the answers. Each person is different on how you're going to deal with it, and each person is different that you're dealing with it and trying to get something done. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.